The Secret of the Blue Mountain. Leo lived in a small, quiet village near a very tall mountain. The mountain was special. Every morning, it looked blue under the bright sun. People called it the Blue Mountain. Leo was a curious boy. He liked to read books about old maps and hidden treasures. One day, while cleaning his grandfather's attic, he found an old, dusty box. Inside the box was a piece of yellow paper. "It's a map," Leo whispered. His heart beat fast. The map showed a path leading to the very top of the Blue Mountain. At the top, there was a drawing of a golden key. Leo decided he wanted to find that key, but he knew he could not go alone. He needed a friend. Leo went to see his best friend Sarah. Sarah was very brave and she loved plants and animals. She was working in her garden when Leo arrived. "Sarah, look at this." Leo showed her the map. Sarah looked at the drawing of the golden key. She smiled. "An adventure. I'm ready, but we need supplies. The mountain is high, and the weather can change quickly." They spent the afternoon preparing. They put several things in their backpacks: a thick rope, 2 large water bottles, some bread and cheese, a flashlight, a warm jacket for the cold wind. "We leave at sunrise," Sarah said. The next morning, the sun was a soft orange in the sky. Leo and Sarah began their walk. First, they had to cross the dark forest at the bottom of the mountain. The trees were very tall. Their leaves were so thick that the sunlight could not reach the ground. It was a bit scary, but Sarah knew a lot about the forest. "Look," she said, pointing to the ground. "These are rabbit tracks. If we follow the animals, we won't get lost." Suddenly, they heard a loud noise. Snap! A dry branch broke behind them. Leo stopped. "What was that?" he asked quietly. A small, fluffy fox jumped out from behind a bush. It had a bright red tail and big, curious eyes. It didn't run away. Instead, it started walking up the path, looking back at them. "I think he wants us to follow him." Leo laughed. Their journey was truly beginning. Leo, Sarah, and the little fox walked until they reached a wide river. The water was moving very fast. It was cold and blue. "Oh no," Leo said. "The bridge is broken." He looked at the map. The map showed that they must cross the river to reach the path. Sarah looked at the tall trees near the water. She had an idea. "Leo, give me the rope from your backpack," she said. Sarah tied the rope to a heavy stone and threw it across the river. The rope caught on a strong tree on the other side. Together, they pulled the rope tight. They used a large, fallen log to slide across the water slowly. It was difficult, but they were a great team. When they reached the other side, they were a little wet, but they were safe. The little fox jumped across the rocks easily and barked happily. After the river, the path became very steep. They found a large stone wall blocking their way. On the wall, there were 3 pictures of fruit: 1 an apple, 2 a banana, 3 a grape. Below the pictures, there were 3 stone buttons. 1 button was red, 1 was yellow, and 1 was purple. "It is a puzzle," Leo said. "We need to match the colors to the fruits to open the wall." Leo pressed the red button for the apple. Sarah pressed the yellow button for the banana. Finally, they pressed the purple button for the grapes. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The heavy stone wall moved slowly to the side. Behind the wall was a hidden staircase made of white stone. It led straight up into the clouds. As they climbed the stairs, the air became very cold. The green trees were now far below them. Now, there was only gray rock and white snow. "Put on your jackets," Sarah said. She was shivering a little bit. They put on their warm clothes and kept walking. The wind was blowing hard, making a whoosh sound. It was getting harder to see the path. "Look," Leo pointed, "a cave." They ran to the cave to hide from the wind inside. It was warm and quiet. The walls of the cave were shining with a strange blue light. Leo took out his flashlight, but he didn't need it. The rocks themselves were glowing. "We are very close to the top," Leo whispered. He looked at the map again. "The golden key is just around the corner." Inside the glowing cave, the air was still. Leo and Sarah walked carefully. The little fox stayed close to their feet. Suddenly, They heard a sound. It sounded like a soft whisper, like the wind moving through dry leaves. "Do you hear that?" Sarah asked. She held her. The walls of the cave were covered in old drawings. The drawings showed people dancing, planting seeds, and laughing. Leo realized the whispers were not ghosts. They were the echoes of the stories from the drawings. "The mountain remembers everything," Leo said. They followed the blue light to the back of the cave. There, they found a small wooden door. It was very old, with a silver handle. Leo reached out and turned the handle. The door opened with a quiet creak. Behind the door was the very top of the blue mountain. They were standing above the clouds. The sky was a beautiful dark blue, and the stars looked like diamonds. In the center of the peak there was a stone pedestal. On top of the pedestal sat the golden key. It was shining so brightly that it looked like a small piece of the sun. Leo walked to the pedestal. He felt nervous. He picked up the key. It was warm in his hand, but as soon as he touched it, a message appeared in the stone. "The key does not open a box of gold. It opens a door to the world." "I don't understand," Leo said. "Is there no treasure?" Sarah looked around. From the top of the mountain, they could see everything. They saw their village, the dark forest, the wide river, and even lands they had never seen before. "Look, Leo," she said. "The treasure is the view. We can see where we want to go next." Suddenly, the little fox barked and pointed his nose toward the village. A thick fog was rolling in, and the sun was starting to set. "We have to go home," Sarah said, "but the path is too dark now." Leo looked at the golden key in his hand. It began to glow even brighter. He held it up like a lantern. The golden light cut through the dark fog and showed them a safe, easy path down the other side of the mountain. They didn't have to climb the stairs or cross the river again. The key showed them a secret path, a path made of soft grass and flowers. As they walked, they felt stronger and happier than they had ever felt before. The map was right. Leo smiled. "This key is very special." The golden light of the key led Leo and Sarah all the way back to the gates of their village. The moon was high in the sky and the houses looked peaceful and quiet. When they reached Leo's house, his grandfather was waiting on the porch. He saw the glowing key and smiled. "You found it," the old man said. "Many people go to the mountain looking for gold or diamonds, but you found the key of curiosity." Leo looked at the key. It wasn't glowing as brightly now, but it was still beautiful. "What does it open, grandfather?" "It opens your mind," his grandfather replied. "Now that you have stood at the top of the mountain and seen the world, you know that there are no limits. You can go anywhere, learn anything, and help anyone." Leo and Sarah realized the journey was the real prize. They had learned to be brave, to solve problems, and to work together as friends. The little fox gave one last bark and ran back toward the forest, disappearing into the shadows. Leo put the key on a shelf in his room. Every time he looked at it, he remembered the blue mountain and the great wide world waiting for him.